it's really rewarding. Once you get either a message or someone telling you that they are now seeing things on a different way, or that they were able to see their negativity loops, like and challenge them, because many times uh, we're so stuck in the loop that we don't see, we don't have awareness that we're spinning and spinning and spinning in a negative direction. But when someone starts to see things from another perspective, and you get a sense that you were able to help them achieve that new point of view, that's pretty rewarding.
Welcome to another episode of Larry's Pod. Today we're here with Rodrigo Ponce de León. He is the Insight Strategist at WyeWorks, a company I really like and respect, and that we have collaborated in the past. So I'm super proud to have him here. Welcome, Rodri. How are you?
Hey Larry, doing good? Thank you for the invite.
Great. Thank you for making the time being here.
Sure.
And we know we have some interesting topic to talk about today, which is a little bit about the role of self leadership within an insight strategist in a software agency. So yeah, I have few questions, but I would like to know from your perspective how you define your role within a software agency, how those insights that you might be getting every day impact and help and influence in the creation of products, services that you bring. So tell me a little bit about you and yeah, how that happens today.
Sure. So I joined WyeWorks around 10 years ago, and during the first years it was pretty common that every team I worked with, there was always one or two engineers that were quite a bit more experienced than I was.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me a sense of comfort, someone I could rely on, someone I could learn from. Um, but around year 3 or 4, I started working on a new project for another client by myself, and this was the time where some of those experienced engineers had left the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to feel a bit this new sense of responsibility, um, to try to lead others in a way, to
Mm-hmm.
learn about leadership. Um, so a month after that new project started, two teammates joined the team, and they were quite younger than me. So that uh, also elevated that sense of responsibility. Like I wanted to be uh, a good model for them, the same that my fellow experienced engineers had been for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that started this new quest about learning about leadership and how to help others grow and feel good as a team. And during some weeks, some months, everything went okay. I was really connected to that desire to learn about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
But around 2 or 3 months in, I started to see myself like stuck in this pessimistic
Mm-hmm.
mode, to describe it in some way. So I started to see everything that was wrong in the project, not seeing the positives. Uh, I
Interesting.
started to convince myself that the client was against us,
Mm-hmm.
and that they didn't want to work the way we wanted to work. Uh, I also ended up at times speaking in a bad manner during
Oh,
meetings.
yeah. And
uh,
that probably got translated to them without you even noticing and
yeah,
affecting their mood too.
exactly.
Oh.
So luckily, I was able to see myself from
Mm.
a different perspective and catch myself in that vicious cycle with the help of Sebastian, that
Mm-hmm.
you also know. Uh, he helped me with a small, simple question, like see all the the things that I was causing in a way.
Mm.
And at that moment, I knew I needed to change something. I needed to reconnect with that inner drive to learn about leadership and to have a positive impact.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get out of that, and
Good.
things started to see more productive and a more positive manner, and it ended up being one of the best teams I've worked with, the best projects, and I remember it with a lot of um, joy and excitement. But what that made me realize is that, in a way, we all have this inner drive towards growth,
Mm-hmm.
this innate thing that wants to get better, to have an impact.
Yep.
But from time to time, we get caught up in these states, these negativity cycles that uh, kind of push that inner drive, like it buries it inside,
Yeah.
and we get disconnected. We feel either
Totally.
hopeless or unmotivated.
Yeah, and it's super easy to see the half uh, empty part of the glass
Yeah,
where you get stuck into that, and it's super hard to get out of it
exactly.
unless someone tells you or gives you a different perspective. Then it's only when you realize that, oh, this isn't wasn't that bad, or maybe I should take the approach on this other way. So yeah.
Yeah, so I realized that there's this Tony Robbins quote that
Mm-hmm.
says that there are no unresourceful people, only unresourceful states. I was stuck in an unresourceful state, and I needed to reconnect with that inner
Yeah.
drive, so that I could be resourceful once again,
Mm-hmm.
as I was at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the project.
Yeah.
Um, so I describe those moments where you have this aha feeling
Mm-hmm.
as insights. You gain a new perspective or a new way of seeing things that changes everything. That was what happened with me during that
Mm-hmm.
project. I got this insight that there's something I need to change here. I need to reconnect with that inner growth. And that's what the insight strategist is all about. It's
That's cool.
about helping others connect or reconnect with that inner drive, have more aha moments, so that they can live in a more positive manner with a more optimistic view. So that's a bit what I do. I try to do that in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
More commonly nowadays, writing. I try to write things that spark some thoughts or make people see things on a new perspective, hopefully to help them
Mm-hmm.
either connect with that inner growth drive or see things from a different perspective. I also give talks. I have
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one conversations with developers at WyeWorks. So it's all tried to go on the same
Mm-hmm.
line about helping people reconnect with that inner drive.
That's super cool. I mean, I wasn't sure, to be completely transparent with you, what the role actually meant, because it was probably the second time I see like an inside strategist position or around that, and I was like not sure how you were like in the day to day involved with teams or with people. So I can see that gain where people get motivated, or when they start to see the good things about life, about projects, about
Yeah,
clients, about their teammates. It's when everything changes, and they are truly then being able to empower, like unlock their power, and all the good things everyone has in their inside.
yeah.
So yeah, how tell me, like, how do you manage that, like how, because it seems to me super fulfilling when you see someone that they reconnect with their cause or with their motivation, and you see that they get unlocked, really.
Yeah, it's really rewarding. Once you get either a message or someone telling you that they are now seeing things on a different way, or
Mm-hmm.
that they were able to see their negativity loops,
Mm-hmm.
like and challenge them, because many times uh, we're so stuck in the
Yeah.
loop that
Mm-hmm.
we don't see, we don't have awareness that we're spinning and spinning and spinning in a
Yeah.
negative direction. But when someone starts to see things from another perspective, and you get a sense that you were able to help them
Mm-hmm.
achieve that new point of view, that's pretty rewarding. And about the role title, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's been challenging for me to also
Mm-hmm.
put it into words for these past years, because
Yeah.
what I do doesn't really fit one of the conventional job titles or job descriptions. It's like the insight strategist title
Mm-hmm.
is a side effect of trying to put a name to everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, but glad it's a bit more
Yeah.
clear with this
Absolutely,
explanation.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, totally. And I guess this also impacts a lot in how teams perform and how they work. But could you tell me, like, have you seen improvements in the customer experience or in the interactions with clients based on what you're just basically saying about how you impact on people, on your people?
Yeah, so I could live through the improvements
Mm-hmm.
myself, as in the story I mentioned at the beginning. It's like, think about you working as part of a team where
Mm-hmm.
one of the team members is constantly either complaining or seeing the bad things. Uh,
You won't be wishing to be there for a long time for sure.
yeah, but at the same time, it's quite contagious.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yep.
loops are, once you start to complain, it feels good to complain, and the other person
Yeah.
might want to validate your complaint because they want you to feel okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the loop reinforces, and you keep growing this thought or this belief that
Mm-hmm.
things in this project are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so working with someone like that can have that impact on the team's morale or the team's uh, optimism or way they tackle things. They start to think
Mm-hmm.
about things more helplessly. It's like, oh, there we have a new meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
these horrible meetings, and they can find a way out to try to see things from a new perspective or try to influence the process in a positive
Mm.
manner. Um, and this same thing that I was uh, generating in my team translated to the client
Mm-hmm.
and to the client's team and the interactions we had with each other. So if I put myself on the client's shoes, interacting with that uh, 7 year ago Rodrigo,
Mm-hmm.
what a pain! Like
Yeah.
during meetings, I ask something, I make a question, and this guy is like complaining,
Yeah, pushing back, or yeah,
yeah, and
it's.
uh, with a negative face. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so, in a sense, you can now imagine the opposite. Imagine a team in which each of the members are connected to that inner
Mm-hmm.
drive. They're doing the work not because they have to, but because they want to. It's like they want to move forward, they want to learn
Mm-hmm.
new things, they want to have an impact.
Yeah, to grow, to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you would feel, what I felt with the first experienced engineers I was
Mm-hmm.
working with. I
Mm-hmm.
looked up to them. They were an inspiration. They pushed me to be better. So if you work in a team where everyone is like that, you're inspired constantly by
Mm-hmm.
the ones around you. And the same will happen to the client when they
Yeah.
interact with the team during meetings, during daily activities. They're interacting with people that bleed this optimism, uh, this way of seeing things not as negative or positive necessarily, but
Yeah.
as just things to get uh, resolved or things to improve.
That's super cool, Rodri. And how like the next question I have in my mind is how do you expand that to other teams? Because you can be like super proactive or like contagious on within your team, and then you said also that you are writing and that you are giving talks. But how do you expand that like energy or trying to find where people feel better within the other teams, because it's not the same like having people next to you working all day than
Yeah,
others that you might see just once in a while.
yeah. So I guess that what comes to mind is this idea about sending ripples that
Mm-hmm.
Simon Sinek talks about a lot. It's like you might think that having an interaction with someone in a positive manner might be meaningless. It's
Mm-hmm.
just one interaction. But actually, that sets off something that might end up impacting other places in the organization and you don't even realize. Because then that person sees things in a new way or with a new, renewed optimism. And they might then have an interaction with another person and spread a bit of
Mm-hmm.
that joy or that magic, and
Yeah,
the ripples start to
I
grow
see.
and start to reach other places in the organization. So in a way, I guess the mindset with which I try to move forward with that question that you're asking is to try to help as much people I can,
Mm-hmm.
and have faith that they will spread the word,
Yeah,
and they will continue to take those ideas or those views or those tools to others.
that makes sense.
So if you're working within a team, you your first you, your team members are your most closest, so
Mm-hmm.
you might start there. But once that team starts doing great things, other teams will notice it, and maybe someone within those teams will say, "Hey, what that team did there, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we try that?" Um,
That's a good point. Yeah.
and then that team might start doing something.
And
And
maybe I'm just thinking out loud here, but maybe if you see, I mean, it happens to me, but if you see someone that is doing really well, or doing some kind of cool things, you want to see what's going on there and what's happening and try to get into that. And oh, I also want to do that cool thing that I saw you did yesterday.
yeah,
So you start to talk to them, and maybe they give you that perspective or new way of like working that you didn't know about it, and now you know. So I kind of can see that contagious side of things.
yeah. So now that you mentioned that,
Mm-hmm.
it comes to mind that you are open to seeing those things as valuable, those things that the other team is doing, because you're connected to that inner drive. You're
Yeah.
in a resourceful state. But many times when we are in an unresourceful state, we're disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even pay attention to those things.
True.
We might label those things as, what are they doing? That
Yeah.
makes no sense. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Or
doing
this is
this.
a waste of time, or what the hell is
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I think it reinforces itself when
Mm-hmm.
you get once you get this positive view of things, and
Mm-hmm.
you start to strive forward,
Mm-hmm.
you start seeing new opportunities, new things. Um, like yesterday, just a quick aside.
Love it. Yeah, go for it.
I'm playing tennis.
Uh-huh.
So for a while, my main belief,
Mm-hmm.
and what I tell myself, is my backhand is my weak point. It's like my
Mm-hmm.
backhand is my weak point. So whenever I went to tennis classes, I tried to avoid hitting with the backhand. So if a ball came and it was a bit for the
Yeah.
backhand, but I could turn around, I would do it and I would hit a drive.
Uh-huh.
So I would avoid backhands. And whenever the ball came to backhand, right before hitting, in my head I was hearing like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna miss it, you're gonna miss it, it's not good," and I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yesterday, I went to class, and before going, I said to myself, "Okay, I'm going to try to change that
Mm-hmm.
idea, that belief that my backhand is my weak point, and think that my backhand can be improved
Mm-hmm.
as every other shot,
Yeah.
and every class is an opportunity to learn how to improve it."
Totally.
So it was a way to try to get this new loop going that's more a productive and not a negative loop
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of thinking.
Yeah.
And I was at the class, and suddenly I found myself asking questions to the teacher, to the coach, which I never ask questions during the classes. There are group classes, and we just play, have fun, but I don't really uh, talk a lot with the coaches because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, a lot of players. But I found myself asking questions about my backhand, and I didn't do it on purpose. The thought just came
Mm-hmm.
suddenly. I saw the coach, and what if I ask him about the backhand? And I did.
Yeah.
And then every time a ball came to the backhand, I hit it. It was okay. It's an opportunity
Sure.
to
Yeah, and you might miss the first shots maybe, but probably on the 10th or 11th, then you will be probably better than it was before. And
yeah,
someday you will be hitting same as your drive, or even better.
yeah.
Totally.
But it comes to this, that your beliefs shape
Mm-hmm.
what you start seeing and thinking and experiencing in the world. So once I started to rewrite that belief,
Mm-hmm.
which of
Mm-hmm.
course is a process that takes a bit of effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this mind trick you're trying
Yeah.
to do on yourself. But a new loop started to roll that was much more positive, and that starts to reinforce itself, because I ended up hitting quite a bunch of good backhands yesterday for the first time in a
Wow.
long time.
Congrats. Yay.
So so in a way that illustrates that
Mm-hmm.
your beliefs or your positions in life uh, end up affecting what you see and what you perceive. So when a team sees
Mm-hmm.
another team doing something that's good and that might be
Mm-hmm.
valuable for them to try, they see it because they're in a state of mind that
Mm-hmm.
they can learn from others, that
Yeah.
they can improve their work. If they're in a state of mind that everything is horrible, our project
Mm-hmm.
is boring, they won't even pay attention to those things, because opportunities won't show up
Yeah. Yeah.
like shiny objects for them.
True, totally true. And I love you saying that, because that happens to all of us every day. And it's like a shift in your paradigm, or like something we also call, and I learned this word like 1 year and a half ago when our growth officer, Guillermo, joined the team. He came with this word called pronoia, which is like the opposite of paranoia, and it's the way of seeing things in a proactive or a good way, which
Yeah,
is kind of exactly the same you are saying, because you always have two sides to see the same thing. One is to go in the negative way, or in the like discouraging, or like not so good, and then you always can see the opportunity out there, or how to get the best out of even a bad situation or a bad moment. But you have to be prepared to be able to do so, or you will
yeah,
not even see the opportunity.
yeah. And it, many times you have to be prepared, and it also takes courage.
Oh,
uh,
absolutely. Yep. And
it's
and yeah, and the risk of failing, like you can even fail if you are taking the opportunity, or have the courage to do it. It might fail too. So yeah,
yeah,
totally.
so yeah, exactly. It's the courage to face your inner beast or
Yep.
your inner
Yep.
demons.
Yep.
um, the courage to admit that you're stuck in that negativity loop and you want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's the courage to do things differently,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're in a team that
Mm-hmm.
uh, the norm is to complain and to see things uh, as negative,
Mm-hmm.
then the easy path is to complain. It's what feels what connects you to the rest of the members, because it's what we do here.
Yep.
But
Yep.
to stop that and to try to see things differently and to try to foster a different environment takes courage to be the first one doing things differently,
True.
the first one sending those ripples.
Mm. Yep. And you mentioned one word that made me think about, and this is probably my last question for you today. I mean, this has been great so far, but you said the word beast, and I recall seeing a post on your weekly postings about controlling the beast, or like how to control that inner voice, or have control over that. And can you tell me a little bit about that, like, because I think it's super connected to this, and how you actually take the courage to do what you might not be totally aware or are afraid of. And I mean, I am super interested in what
Yeah,
you're writing these days, and if you can expand on that too, that
sure.
would be awesome.
Yeah, so one thing that comes to mind is something I've been thinking about lately.
Mm-hmm.
That is this idea that there are many things in life that seem counterintuitive. It's like
Mm-hmm.
when playing tennis, you want to hit with power. So the
Mm-hmm.
first thing you do when you start out, and even on my level, is you forget that in order to hit with power, you need to loosen the arm.
Mm.
It needs to be like a noodle.
That's
Uh,
crazy to me.
yeah,
How is that possible?
exactly.
Yeah.
So what your first thought is, I need
Yeah.
to hit with
Hold
power.
it as strong as possible
Yeah,
and then just hit. Yeah.
or when I recall Jason Fried from
Mm-hmm.
37 Signals
Yep.
writing about learning to play the drums.
Mm-hmm.
That at first you grab the firmly the sticks, but actually you need to learn to loosen the grip in order to play accurately. So in leadership, I started to realize that there's also this kind of contradiction or counterintuitiveness, if that's a
Mm-hmm.
word,
Yeah.
in which when you start learning about leadership or getting interested, as I was, the first thing that you think is about, okay, I want to learn leadership. I need to learn how to lead others,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because leadership is
Wrong. You
about
have to lead yourself first, I guess.
exactly. So what I
Yeah.
started to realize, and what I shared at the beginning of the conversation that happened during that project,
Mm-hmm.
is that I learned that in order to lead others, you need to lead yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I guess the beast is my way of describing that inner version of you
Mm-hmm.
that wants to go a different way, that wants to put that inner drive to sleep. Um, so if you think about that, let's go through some leadership scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
One more for the personal life and one more for work. It's like in your personal life, you want to speak to someone at a bar, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
someone you don't know, or you want to go to a party and that's you are a bit of an introvert and that's produces anxiety. Um, the question, how do I speak to that person,
Mm-hmm.
which is a question of knowledge. You don't need more knowledge to do it. You just need to go to speak to the person. You know how to speak.
Mm-hmm.
What's difficult is what's in between the action and you, the beast. It's like
Mm-hmm.
taming that inner voice that says, what are they going to think?
Mm-hmm.
How will
What if?
what if?
Yeah.
What will happen?
Yeah.
Or at work, you need to give feedback to someone,
Mm-hmm.
and you might be afraid of how they're gonna take it.
The reaction.
The
Yeah.
reaction,
Exactly.
if the
Mm-hmm.
relationship will be affected.
Worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So generally, what you end up doing is you read books about feedback, you watch
Mm-hmm.
videos about feedback,
Mm-hmm.
you learn all these different acronyms or tools about how to
Yeah.
effectively give it. But if you really think and you detach yourself from that beast,
Mm-hmm.
you already know how to do it. You just
Yep.
have to go and say, hey, can I talk to you, and say something. But the difficult thing is overcoming that beast that's telling you, hey, what will happen?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Those future fears in your head. So
Hmm.
I started to have fun putting a name to it. Um, and once I did that, I started to think about it as a different being inside me. And that gives me some detachment to think about things I experience, things that trigger me, things that affect me.
Yeah, you give consciousness to that too, and then
Yeah,
you can better like
yeah,
make it happen.
exactly. Because in a way, you can it's the same thing when a friend comes with a
Mm-hmm.
difficult situation
Mm-hmm.
and they ask for your opinion
Mm-hmm.
or your perspective. Generally, it's easy for you to say, "Hey, you should do
Yeah,
this."
you
Yeah,
should do this and next. Yeah.
yeah, because it's you're giving
Mm-hmm.
perspective to a different person.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's you, the one that's facing the problem,
Yeah,
it's very difficult to find the way out
true.
because you're all stuck with those feelings
Yep.
and that unresourceful state in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So this is quite similar. It's this sort of distancing that you create by putting a name to that dark aspect of you, the beast. So you can think about things that you experience as things that the beast is affecting, and
Mm-hmm.
you have this distance. You're not the one that's yelling, it's the beast. So you can reason about what's going on and how to
I like it.
learn to tame it in a more productive manner.
Mm.
Um,
That's
so
cool.
that's a bit the idea behind the beast. And as I write, I start to come up with different concepts that relate to the idea, like uh, possession, when you're
Mm-hmm.
possessed by the
Mm-hmm.
beast,
Yeah.
uh, the explosive possession is when you're triggered, but sometimes the possession is more how's the I can't find the word when it's silent. um,
Um.
okay, when
Yeah.
it's silent possession, it's when you're
It's going under no notice, something
yeah,
around there
yeah,
like that.
yeah, so
Yeah.
different kinds of possession.
Yeah.
uh but yeah, that's
That's
the
cool,
idea.
Rodri. Yeah. Thanks for giving me this like extra context because I mean I'm following you, I'm seeing what you do, but you never know the whole reason or context behind something that someone is writing or thinking about,
Yeah,
and it totally connects with your role these days and how you take that into something super meaningful and how to impact on others. So I love it. Thanks for sharing that.
sure, Larry. Pleasure.
And yeah, cool. And last one question I had, I try to ask this one to everyone, which is these days we know everything is for yesterday, and we are handling like tons of different responsibilities on our work, on our home, with friends, with everyone, and more in roles like yours. So how do you manage that work-life balance to actually keep healthy and like have everything under control? Do you have any specific
Mhm.
practices, habits, routines, something you can share with us?
Yeah, so coming back to the beast,
Mm-hmm.
you can
Like it.
think you can think that there's certain environment
Mm-hmm.
or habitat, to use a word that goes with animals, in which the beast feels more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and other environments the beast might feel a bit uneasy and more easily triggered. um, so you can think about those environments as your mind, and certain uh, situations or certain states might trigger you more easily or help the beast be more present, see things negatively.
Mm-hmm.
These unresourceful states we've been talking about. So the way I see the work, uh, personal life balance thing is, how can I cultivate an environment or a habitat, a way of seeing things and of
Mm-hmm.
living life,
Mm-hmm.
in which the line between work and and personal life gets blurred.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where everything starts to feel like life and there's
Mm-hmm.
no longer something to get balanced, you
Yeah.
know? And what I think is something that contributes a lot to that is having things to pursue that are meaningful to you.
Mm-hmm.
In someone might call that purpose. Uh, I like to call it uh, chasing something,
Mm-hmm.
pursuing something.
Mm-hmm.
You might have one big pursuit, but you might have many pursuits at the same time. So whenever I feel I'm pursuing things that are meaningful to me, that are based on my real interests, that I'm not uh, that I'm listening to things that interest me,
Mm-hmm.
and listening to them and pursuing them, then I start to feel that I'm doing things that are meaningful and that I'm
Mm-hmm.
living life in a way that's joyful. Um,
Okay.
so be it pursuing leadership to better understand that, sharing that with others, um, pursuing a family, tennis, improving my skills,
Mm-hmm.
guitar, coffee, everything that interests me
Mm-hmm.
in a way needs to be pursued for me to generate that habitat or state of mind so that the beast uh, is
Yep.
tamed. Um, and I that's what I that's what I aim at. It's not like to retire at
Mm-hmm.
60 years old and do nothing.
Yeah.
No, I want to try to move towards a lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
that I want to keep
Forever. Yeah.
forever. Yeah, so that I don't need to retire. Yeah,
Love that. Yeah, I see your point, and I think it's a smart way of thinking about it and like making changes to your life to actually feel life is one single thing where work and personal life is the same thing that
yeah,
can coexist and that doesn't affect in one way or the other. Super,
yeah.
super. Great, Rodri. Yeah, I mean, we are getting to the end of this episode, so I wanted to ask you if you, I mean, you gave already lots of advice and good tips and proactive things that might help others to focus more on them or how to talk or share their work with or time with other people that they like and care. But do you have any other advice or comment or anything you want to announce that you have on your head and you want to share with the people?
Um, so maybe just in light to what we've been talking
Mhm.
about, just um, if someone out there is a bit stuck in one of these negative loops
Mhm.
and they feel on an unresourceful state, um, just try to gain a bit of awareness and start to see what you're experiencing. Try to see the beast within you and start to understand it and study its behavior,
Mhm.
so that you can start to see where things are working against you and try to find clues to connect to that inner drive. Um, yeah,
Excellent.
that's
Thanks for that. Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. Start by yourself, try to identify things, and then move on and
yeah,
ask for help for sure.
exactly.
Love it, love it. Rodri, thank you so much. This has been amazing. I hope you enjoyed it,
Yeah,
and yeah, see you out there.
thanks, Ari. Hope we do it again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye
see
bye.
ya. Bye bye.